Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I am filming a video that I thought would be different from all of my other ones. Today we're going to be talking about Violetta. First off, thank you guys so much for 101 subscribers. Can we get an applause please? Yes. I'm in a very good mood. I took a week off just for mental reasons. But yeah, I've got a new makeup style. I fixed the wig. I'm hoping to take photos after this, so I'm hoping it'll be worth it. I do want to stress that I will be reading from a script like always. I always write my own scripts. It's all my work. If you guys would like me to put my scripts down in the description box, I will more than likely do so. I'm so happy with the positive reception I've received over the course of my videos. Of course, there's going to be a few imbeciles in the comments who clearly have a vendetta, but that's okay. This is Earth. We're going to meet people like that every day. Do y'all remember Violetta? Like, was that just a fever dream or what? Because I kid you not, I was obsessed with that show. Violetta was a Disney drama show of Latin American origin, specifically made in Argentina. Go Argentina, yay. According to Google, it follows Violetta, a musically gifted teenager who returns to her hometown of Buenos Aires with her father after living in Europe for a long time. And she deals with the problems that life throws at her in this new phase and transition. Violetta showcases themes expected in your typical teen flick telenovela or soap-style opera show. That consists of about 80 episodes per season. I don't know why, but when I tried to watch this season, I did not know that there was 80 episodes in each season. Like, I don't physically believe that in South Africa we were being fed 80 episodes. While I was watching or rewatching, I did notice some episodes I'd never seen before, so I'm suspecting that some episodes were cut out for time here in South Africa. Let me know if it was the same thing in your country, but here I don't remember most of those episodes unless I started watching late, which I doubt. It touched base on some points of romance, bullying, music, and a coming of age centerpiece, of course a watered down version because it is a kids television series on Disney Channel. Season 1 key storylines. We are introduced to a heavily sheltered main protagonist called Violetta, to which she doesn't go to a contact school, but rather receives tutorship at home, imprinted on her by her father. We find out that her mother passed and that she has an aunt named Angie who wishes to hide her identity and this fact as a secret. Angie proceeds to give Violetta piano lessons, knowing that she's lying about this whole truth. Okay. We are introduced to our first inkling of romance between Violetta and Thomas, featuring that iconic slide that she does, and he catches her. I mean, very K-drama, very romantic, very telenovela. We love to see it. Herman, Violetta's dad, is in a relationship with Jade, whose brother Matthias is wanting to mooch off Herman through Jade. Like, German finds himself falling for Angie. Studio 21 has class divisions and battles, a love square if you want to call it, drama between Ludmilla, Leon, Thomas, and Violetta. Ludmilla torments Violetta at any given moment. I kid you not, like, it was a little bit tiring and exhausting to watch her just bully the heck out of Violetta for no specific reason. Francesca also at this point also has a crush on Thomas, which I don't know why. Like, Thomas has to be the most boringest person I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I don't know if you would call that a love hexagon, because I don't think that's how the type of stuff works, but she falls part of that as well. Lola and Max drama, which I feel like was the most interesting part of Violetta while I was watching. I don't know why. Like, I liked that whole, like, can they be together or not? I thought it was cute. Violetta gets the chance to be the lead role in Rafa Palmer's stage performance, to which there's talks of sabotage and a lot of, like, you know, evil playing going on behind the scenes. And yeah, there was a lot of miscellaneous storylines which became a little bit redundant throughout these 80 episodes. Like, I don't know how y'all did it, because sometimes I had to skip because like I felt like it was a little bit redundant. Season 2 key storylines. Audience is introduced to a new character called Diego, who will play as a threat to Leon and Violetta after they had gotten together in season 1, which I forgot to mention, thus forming the love triangle between Diego, Violetta, and Leon, in which Ludmilla lays off Violetta a little bit. She still maintains her snarky attitude, but every inkling of development is always like betrayed by her selfishness and her need to always seek public validation, I guess. Not even public validation, maybe public validation, because this obsession with tormenting Violetta just doesn't make any sense to me. We get short form character introductions. Violetta finds her voice metaphorically but loses it literally. A push and pull effect between Violetta and Leon is at play, showcasing a will they or won't they type of trope. Jade and her brother are still at it with getting Herman's money, his estate, and praying for his downfall. Like, I don't understand how this man didn't get a police report or like some level of trespassing. They hire Esmeralda, a con artist, to quote seduce Herman into marrying for money so that the sister and brother duo can benefit. However, Esmeralda goes against these wishes and selfishly does it for herself in order to get the estate and money for herself, which these people are bored. Esmeralda's plan, luckily, is foiled, and Diego and Ludmilla plot against Violetta and Leon, to which Diego and Violetta are still in a relationship, but he slowly starts to fall in love with Violetta. That's an ick right there. Leon obviously does put an end to this plotting, in which Violetta would break up with Diego. Herman is arrested, and then shortly after he's released. And then he goes to work at Violetta's school at Studio 21, disguised as a piano teacher so that he can see what she's doing at school. How? That has to be obsessive nature at that point. That is actually weird. And I'm gonna get into that with my character analysis that we're gonna do, but that is just so weird. A reconciliation is met, except for our main villains, of course. Diego finds out that his father is Gregorio, and Leon and Violetta end up together, which I have mixed feelings about this couple, but I'll tell you guys in the relationship analysis as well. Season 3 key storylines. Season 3 starts off with the introduction of new characters who ought to play as enablers for the storylines and hopefully to keep the story going. We have Violetta and company on a on-beat tour throughout Europe with their sponsored company Umix, to which they appear on radio channels and handle the life of being active performers. Violetta and Leon are still together at this point, in which their dynamics are drifting to be a more complicated relationship instead of being on steady waters. Priscilla, Ludmilla's mother, begins a relationship with Violetta's dad, Herman. Which, can we talk about how many times Herman is in relationships? I don't know. I feel like he's trying to compensate for something. Francesca and Diego start a fling. Jade and Matias are back from their time served in jail, and still they manage to step foot in Herman's home after they sent him to jail. I don't understand how Herman is still allowing these people into his home. Get a restraining order at that point. What the heck? And he allows it. Violetta and Leon's relationship gets rocky. Ludmilla is still up to her jealous antics, to which we learn, I would personally say, we speculate that her behavior is heavily fueled by her mother. Her mother is horrible. Ludmilla and Violetta are not fond of their parents' relationship, and Leon gets injured in a motocross accident, to which Violetta and Leon break up shortly after, since he's battling whether he wants to be at Studio 21. This is a prominent theme that occurs through Leon throughout the 2 seasons of season 2 and 3. Ludmilla ends up stealing Violetta's song that she can use to audition as a solo for Umix, which is also heavily prompted by her mother, and her mother putting a lot of pressure onto her. Violetta and Francesca have the bright idea to disguise themselves as international students as to spy on Leon and his band. What? And even worse, Violetta ultimately catfishes him emotionally and physically. Like, ugh. I'm getting the ick even thinking about it. When I watched it, I was like, I was living for it when I was younger, but now I'm like watching it, I'm like, Violetta, I trusted your, you know what? I actually didn't trust her judgment, but I think she has such poor decision making tendencies throughout Violetta that I don't get it. Herman invades Violetta's personal space by reading her emails. What type of parenting? I don't understand. Violetta gets pushed by Ludmilla's mom down the stairs, literally an attempted murder case right there, which I don't even think anything happened with that. Like, Ludmilla's mother saw that what she was doing was wrong, and she was like, yeah, I think this is a bad idea. I shouldn't be a horrible woman. I would press charges. Priscilla tries to sabotage people close to Herman, especially Angie, and to which Angie and Herman are actually getting real close and personal, okay? I don't know how to feel about that relationship, but y'all will let me know. Leon and Violetta end up getting back together after Leon forgives Violetta for catfishing for catfishing him. He needs to stand up. He need to get on business, and he need to move. Violetta, I don't know what the hell she was doing. I would never be selfish enough to keep that type of relationship going. Angie and Herman end up getting married, and we finally see the series close with a beautiful end of performance, and then it closes off with Violetta's signature wink, which is so cute. I remember watching it. I watched the final episode, and I remember like being like younger, and I remember watching it when I was younger, and I felt dead inside. What else was I supposed to do after Violetta? But it's fine because the next step started streaming shortly after that, so it's fine. Let's talk about relationships in Violetta. For this section of the video, I decided it would be better if I tackled the main relationships within Violetta and not the, petty relationships that were happening. So this will be like your main cast. It wouldn't necessarily focus on your recurring cast members, but usually the main cast, because their relationships were practically like shoved down our throats, and I like most of them. So let's get onto it. First, for our iconic, the book, the Bible of relationships within Violetta and Leon. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I was watching this when I was younger, I loved the two together. I thought they were cute. You don't really see, you don't look too much into their relationships when you're younger. Like, who has the time to do that? Not me. But as I watched it again, I did realize that their relationship was kind of toxic. I don't want to even say toxic. I just feel like their relationship was unhealthy. Like, that's the best way I can describe it without having to put myself into a loop. Violetta and Leon's relationship started on the backs of I wouldn't even say dare, but a quest. Leon was dating Ludmilla at the time, and they were both cheating on each other, but Leon was like, no, I want to get a little taste of the new girl. Let me not say taste. I want to have an experience with the new girl. She's pretty, and I want to see what's popping with the new girl. That's basically how he has a crush on her, and how they start talking. I will say it felt like it was a quest because he would do a lot of nice things for Violetta because he wanted her. I think I think they're a better pairing than Violetta and Thomas. Like, if I'm being honest, Leon was able to stand up for her. He was able to see her eventually as more than just a prize. He saw her as this woman, or this girl who was not only pretty, but who was also talented, and who also made him feel, or not even made him feel good, but she was a nice person to be around. I'm not even gonna lie, I would want to be around Violetta too. But Season 1, I think them bringing up their relationship was cute. It did start off like kind of like, the new girl and the high school jock get together, your stereotypical rom-com movie. But I like that they didn't make them official in season 1 as quickly, but that partially had to do because of Thomas's actor leaving. Originally, it was supposed to be Violetta and Thomas, but oh well. I like Violetta and Leon more. And we'll get into why I don't think Thomas is good for Violetta either. But I did think that their relationship did get a little bit toxic. I mean, the way that they would talk to each other was disrespectful. Um, I think Violetta spying on him because she wanted to see if he would move on into a different relationship shortly after they broke up. I was like, what? Like, why would you do that? And then she decides to disguise herself, catfish him. He tells her all these stuff and he's confiding in her, and she's basically manipulating him. And I don't like that Violetta did that. Like, I felt like it tore down everything that she had built from season 1 to season 3. And with that one simple move, it was like I'm out of there. Like, I couldn't look at her the same. I just thought that that was weird and unnecessary. But I will describe their relationship as a roller coaster. I do love that they ended up together when I was younger, but now I don't think they should have ended up together. I think they just did it for the fans because, young teens are obviously going to want the couple to end up together. But if I was me now, I would say no, perhaps we could end their relationship on a healthier note. Ludmilla and Leon, I mean, like I said, it was like a preschool relationship. There was no genuine or real feelings. It felt like the jock and the mean girl or the popular girl getting together just because society tells them to and they're the most popular. So it's like, why not be yin and yang and be popular together? I think it was just a status thing for their relationship. I didn't really think anything of it. They're not a perfect match. I think she would call him Lion, and it's like Miller and herself. Like, I just feel like she doesn't need to be in a relationship. She can be like independent, but Leon and Miller, I'm good. You can keep that away. Diego and Violetta. Not compatible. Maxi and Natty. Guys, when I tell you, when I was watching their scenes, I felt like they were so cute. Like, it was cute that Maxi was able to talk to Natty when she wasn't seen by Ludmilla. Like, Ludmilla treated Natty like gutter trash, and I felt like he was able to be that space for her to be herself, to be Natty, and I thought it was really cute. I think that they complement each other well. Obviously, not every relationship is perfect because relationships not meant to be perfect, but I thought Natty and Maxi were really cute, and watching it, I'm like, they're the it couple. They're the it couple. Federico and Ludmilla are your typical case of enemies to lovers, and all I have to say is I'm glad that Federico broke up with Ludmilla. I think he has standards. I think him realizing what Ludmilla did and recognizing her faults and using that as a basis of, okay, if she treats other people like this, how is she going to be treating me? He has standards, and praise to the boy, guys. Gotta give him credit, okay? Diego and Francesca. I didn't like Diego, but I grew to like him after season 2, and when he came back with season 3, I thought that they were so cute. Like, they were meant to be, like, I don't know, they were just so cute, and I like them together. Francesca's very, I wouldn't say level-headed, but I think she's more level-headed than Violetta. She makes proper choices, although they can kind of be Tweedledee and Tweedledum. But I think that Diego brings out a much more mature side to her, and we see that in season 3 a lot. Angie and Herman, I don't know how to feel. That's all I'm gonna say. Even when I was younger, I found it odd. Like, tell me, guys, do you guys think it was weird that essentially, if you think about it, Angie is Herman's sister-in-law, so would that not be a little bit odd? I found it odd when I was younger. I didn't think that they should be together. I don't know. I don't know. I think what would have been more realistic, because I just don't think that that's a comfortable situation. But I think it would have been nice if Angie was just there to give a hand to Herman and to tell Herman about stories about his wife, just stories of how she wanted to parent, how she wanted to be, and how Herman could deal with his grief through Violetta, through for himself, for the people within his household, which she did offer a bit, but I feel like it should have not been started on a basis of she's hiding her identity. It would have been fun if she just knocked on the door and said, "Oh, I'm her sister," and it would have been a cool moment of having family come together and Herman meeting Angie's side of the family and him embracing this type of culture. And it would have been nice if he would have allowed Violetta to have the space to figure out his mom, but I want to say that I would blame it specifically on his. I don't think he grieved properly, but I think Angie would have been able to provide a helping hand in helping with his grieving and how he could be a better parent. Main character and recurring character ranking. A brief analysis. I'm not going to be talking about all the recurring characters because I felt like some of them just didn't have a lot of personality. Some of them were just kind of there. Some of them were just looming in the background, not really saying much. So I've got 3 categories for this specific section. I've got How is you cool? How is you cool? And that essentially means like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay in the group? Like, are you mentally doing well? Like, is everything okay? And then the second category is it just essentially means like, I don't know how to feel. You were kind of good, but you were also kind of bad. There's not much that you offered me. You kind of made stupid decisions and it kind of altered how I feel about you. Number 3 is iconic. Give me 2 more. Give me 2 more. Okay, that means what I said, iconic. Okay. So originally I was going to do a ranking of this based on my perception of these characters when I was younger, but I felt like that would be a little bit biased. So I'm going to be realistic with it, and I'm going to look at the characters through a lens of me now as a 19-year-old watching Violetta now and re-examining these characters for a much younger audience. Category 1. How is Yuko? Herman. He is your literal definition of a helicopter parent who truly tries to compensate his neglectful behavior as a father to Violetta by being handsy and projecting his self-deprecating conflict of grief, neglect, and regret onto Violetta. Granted, Herman's parenting may be a response to the passing of his wife and wanting to protect Violetta at all circumstances. His wife most likely had freedom and independence within her career, which it is speculated that she died in a car accident, which might have to do with her being a singer and on the road all the time. However, Herman does not get to project his inconsistencies upon Violetta to make up for his self-regret and protection. I felt like that's like kind of toxic parenting, I'm not gonna lie, because he was kind of constricting Violetta within a bubble of safety, which I totally understand, like, acceptable, right? There's no blame there, but I think it becomes an issue once these parents start to uphold their fears onto their child, and it becomes a little bit tedious to watch Herman consistently violate Violetta's right to choice or privacy, stuff of that nature. He did not give her space in any circumstance, and he did not believe nor trust his daughter, which I think is a red flag within itself. Matthias, Jade's brother. He's very desperate. It's giving stalker. He's a moocher and he's a leech and he's just disgusting, whispering in his sister's ear, trying to manipulate her because he knows that she's a bit of a klutz. Okay, controversial, but Thomas. I didn't have a problem with Thomas. when I was younger, but when I watched him again, I realized that he's a little bit of a tedious character to watch. He, I feel like he probably does have like insecurity issues or low self esteem of some sort. Um, it was so frustrating to watch him not physically do anything to get, not even to get Violetta, but to mainly just speak to her, to communicate, stand up for her. He kind of took everything front face value and kind of um, took things out of proportion. He kind of overreacted to some circumstances. I think he fumbled the bag with Violetta. Like his inability or his low self esteem and his lack of self awareness, I would say. I think it contributed to the fact that he wasn't able to get Violetta and why his character appeared so dull and boring on the show. I think what they did really let him down in terms of his character development and how we viewed him as a character. It's just like little things, like when Violetta was getting bullied, he kind of just stood there and watched. He didn't necessarily say anything, not that he's obligated to, but if you're watching someone get bullied, you're a bystander, and thus you are a bully. So next we have Jade, which if I were younger, I would put her in iconic because she's really funny. Like she says like the most craziest one-liners in the dub version. Guys, I didn't watch sub, but the dub version, she's like ditzy, she's clumsy, she's a bit dull. But I think that was what was more enjoyable about watching her. I did think it was unfortunate that her brother took advantage of the fact that she was engaged to Herman and that she's a little bit, like I said, a klutz. But I do think like at a point, you're an adult. I feel like you should have some say in how you treat other humans. She was a gold digger, but she was only digging for her brother, and she kind of had the same ploy throughout 3 seasons, which was getting Herman's money or tormenting those closest to him, which is like, come on, like there has to be something in your, like, you're Jade, you look good, you got a killer body, you can do something with your life, come on. Next we have Natty, which I would put her in the category, but when I watched it again, I was like, she's kind of a follower, and each time she gets talked down upon by Ludmilla, like Ludmilla would call her the wrong name even though she told her not to call her that, and she allowed it. She didn't set any boundaries. Of course, there were instances of like, I'm not talking to you because you're doing this, or I'm not going to be your friend anymore because you're doing this, but she would still ultimately go back to Ludmilla. Which is why I think her being with Maxie would have upgraded her character to a level, which I would probably make this shift then in season 3, because she does become a little bit better. But she does have instances where she resorts back to Ludmilla for validation of some sort, which is sad. Yeah. Next we have Priscilla. What a nasty, nasty woman. Can I just start off? The way she speaks to Ludmilla is disgusting, and it is so obvious that Ludmilla is a reflection of her mother and that she is mirroring the behavior of her mother. Like, it is so... I felt so bad for Ludmilla, but that doesn't mean that Ludmilla is a great character, but Ludmilla is a product of her mother. Priscilla is horrible. She literally pushes Violetta down the stairs. That's assault. Like... And then it takes like oh yeah, I'm kind of wrong. I'm kind of, what I did was wrong. No, what you did was a literal attempted murder. She could have been like, I don't even know, like blunt force trauma or something. That was disgusting, and like she's just horrible. Second category, Violetta. I know. Hear me out. What can I say? She's our main character. She carried in her own right. Yes. There's no lie in that. But she obviously has her flaws, as I've stated many times in my video, that she has flaws in her poor decision making and her poor judgment. She's not the healthiest when it comes to these two things. However, she was incredibly talented and was able to have a bit of a healthier development than some of her co-characters. I did love her in season 1, where she was slowly finding her voice, which she did find her voice in season 3 as well. she literally loses it in season 2, but that's beside the point. She finds her voice, but I feel like it's completely overshadowed by the fact that she once again falls down this wagon or this hole of like Ludmilla's character arc of suddenly wanting to spy on her ex-boyfriend. Like, what? I felt like Violetta could have had a better sort of judgment and self-awareness. She can be a character who is a little bit insecure, but I don't think insecurity warrants you being a literal creep and doing such things to your ex-partner. Ludmilla. Ludmilla, like, come on, guys. I like Ludmilla. She kind of reminds me of Emily from The Next Step, just watered down. Not even watered down. She's on her freaking high hopes over there. She's on top of the world, Ludmilla. But I really liked her when I was younger. She is a mean girl, unfortunately. She fits that typical mean girl stereotype, but the only reason why I put her a little bit higher and not put her in the first category of How Was You Cool is because she got confidence and she know it. She knows she got talent and she knows it. She flaunts it. She's working it. Ain't no inconsistencies with her. With Ludmilla, you gonna get what you're gonna get. You signed up for it with Ludmilla, and I wish I had as much determination as Ludmilla. Sorry, these hottie dolls are killing me. Angie, I put her in this category because I felt as though I didn't like that she decided to keep her being Violetta's aunt a secret. I didn't like that she disguised herself, which, I mean, I guess she learned it. I guess Violetta learned it from her aunt, disguising. I guess it must run in the family. But what is their obsession with disguising? Like, that's actually kind of weird. But yeah, I like Angie. I don't trust her judgment. Maybe lack of judgment doesn't run in the family, is all I can say. I also put Francesca in this section because I feel as though season 1, or sometimes she can appear as snarky. Perhaps that's a defense mechanism. But she does get a little bit of a character development through season 3, which I enjoyed watching her then. She just strikes me as the type to also be a follower, with also complying and doing the same disguise tactic with Violetta. Like, that's just weird. A friend would tell you that's a bad idea. They wouldn't join you within your bad scheme. Okay. I also put Diego in this section. Hey, Francesca and Diego are right here. I mean, they're soulmates. Like I said, Diego is your typical like bad boy type energy, but I do think that him seeing Violetta as some sort of like, oh, I'm just gonna be with a pretty girl or whatnot, and then simultaneously date her while you're also plotting against her, it's just weird to me. Obviously, he did have his character development, hence why he's not in How Is You Cool. Okay. Category number 3, iconic. Give me 2 more. Okay. First, I put Olga. I love Olga. You can never go wrong with her. She's the sweetest. She's the funniest. She's giving like the auntie that would give you like the best advice ever and like turn your frown upside down. I love her. And next, obviously, we have Romolo. I heard that in the sub version they say his name like Ramosh. I don't know, but in the dub they say Romolo. I love him. I watched it again and I think he's very attractive. Don't come for me. It must be the glosses. It must be the height. And I like that he's very like introverted, but he's receptive to Olga's like extroverted energy, and he's open. I really like him, and he also does give advice to Herman when he's being a bit of a dick. But yeah, Camille. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure a lot of people do not like Camille. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons, but I like her. Why? Because she's strong in her own right. And she stands her ground. Not to say that the other women don't, but she doesn't feel the need to conform. And that is what pushed her up to the top. She does not feel the need to conform. She does not feel the need to bully others in order to lift herself up. She does not feel the need to spy on others to make herself feel better. She does not feel the need to put any or her life or any other people's lives at risk to make herself be at the top of the pyramid. That's iconic. Give me two more because she ate down. She ate down. I love her. Y'all probably don't. I like the strong personality. I love it. I love it. Next we have Maxi. I mean, he's cute. He's very helpful. He's so nice to the girls. Like, I mean, bare minimum, but like, I really like him. I like him. I like him. There's not much to say. This one might be a surprise. Gregorio and his teacher Co. Um, I like them. Hear me out. Gregorio was a horrible teacher, but I like that he was able to instill a level of um, self self awareness, confidence, work ethic. He didn't go about it in the right way though, which makes me want to push him down to the second category of because I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I think the other teachers were a little bit healthier in their right. I hated that they did not address the issue of bullying, but I liked that they were able to humble their students, which is why I kept them at iconic. Next, we have our favorite, Leon. Every girl crush. Come on, it's every girl's crush. I'm When I was watching it, I was like, okay. At first, I was like, but he has the perfect character development. Like, he goes from your jock, like meme boy, popular boy who just wants to get at the girl, who just wants to be on top of the world, have the narcissistic ego personality, but slowly, as he falls in love and becomes softer, he becomes more open, vulnerable, talkative, and he becomes more than just a character who's like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this. Instead, he takes a step back to look at who he is as a person and what he wants to do for his future, accounting for those around him, which is why I truly still to this day have a crush on Leon. And I'm sure y'all do too, because Leon is just, I don't know, he's like not perfect, but he's a well balanced character. I don't think that he complimented Violetta, nor do I think Thomas did. I think that Leon compliments someone who is going to be at his, not at his level, but he's going to meet him at his standards, or at that sort of peak, I'd suppose, where there's going to be compromise and there wouldn't be an issue with that. Timing is really important, and the way that people communicate, I think, would have been key to Violetta and Leon's relationship, and Leon as a character and Violetta as a character within their own rights. I think that they wanted different things, hence why I don't think that they are a good fit for each other. But let me know if you guys disagree. If you think that they were, let me know why. Yeah. Songs of Violetta. Okay, so I'm gonna summarize their songs perfectly well. I think you guys can watch a lot of their compilation like albums, or people making compilations of good favorite songs and stuff. I completely agree with those. My favorite has to be Ludmilla's performances. Anytime she performs, like, there's just like a certain allurement that she has within her stage presence. I also love watching Leon perform as well. Violetta too, but Leon and Ludmilla. Their songs were very pop, alternative, and edgy music, featuring, of course, your whimsical ballads. It all fit the styles of each character respectively, as it cultivated like their feelings each character was feeling to, that melody of the song to obviously portray that. Violetta also had a few instances of cameos in which we got to see Ross Lynch and his band, incorporating his brothers, called R5. I think that's how you say it. I don't know if it's just like a literal R5 or if it's supposed to mean something else. We also had Bridget Mendler and Rock Bones, which is an Argentinian band who also made cameos for the show, which was a nice like crossover of the Disney universe, which I thought was cool. Conclusion. Despite the obvious flaws and the amount of times I ended up cringing whilst rewatching Violetta, I kid you not, it felt amazing and nostalgic to watch what a younger me found entertaining and intriguing. Heck, I had my first crush be Leon, and that's a win in itself, as mentioned. The best thing that came out of it, honestly, was my way of looking at people, my way of seeing music, my way of uh, just a lot of family and school dynamics. The thing is that I also wanted to point out that Violetta had within the studio is they had this concept of not everybody's going to get along, your schoolmates, but we're all wanting to get to the same goal, and that's the end of the line or the end of the race. And in order to do that, you'd have to be cooperative, and you're not going to get along. And Violetta was a cute Disney show that was different to what was being shown already at the time. I would argue it even opened the door for more musical based shows on the channel. It showcased, of course, over exaggerated scenarios and repetitive and redundant storylines, but it highlighted potential conversations and dynamics between people that could have been had. It instills a feeling of, a girl just wants to have fun, let people be creative within their own right. I thought it was a very cute show for its time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you guys agree with my points. It's a very short video. I didn't want to get too much into it, but I'll link a few videos that I thought was interesting whilst I was rewatching and then watching other YouTubers. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking, viewing. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe, if you could like, if you could share. It's very fun to talk to you guys in the comments if you're being productive. Okay, thank you, but majority of you are, which I'm thankful for. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll leave my link tree in the bio as well. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot that you guys appreciate my work. Yeah, thank you guys so much. It means the best, honestly. Thank you guys. Bye bye.